Hello, everyone. I'm Rob Goodwin of YourBostonSports.com on this Sunday afternoon. Joining me to talk about the Dave Dombrowski signing is none other than John Corn. Mr. Corn, how are you today?
How are you today, Mr. Gordon?
I'm doing pretty good. So I'm sure you watched the press conference as I did with
I was excited.
John Henry and Tom Werner, Dave Dombrowski, and also Sam Kennedy.
For our listeners, Dave Dombrowski was the general manager for the Detroit Tigers. They won 4 straight division titles in a row, 2 World Series trips. So he's had a lot of success.
And he was also on the short list to take over as president of the Toronto Blue Jays as well. So
teams were after him.
Yeah, and after that press conference, there's a lot of conjecture about Ben Cherington and how he wasn't treated well, and that he should have been kept or he should have been retained, but it was really his choice to leave. What are your thoughts on this whole thing about him being mistreated?
I think the press is making something up. They're making up a story like they're very good at. I mean, what were they supposed to do? The most sought-after general manager in baseball is available. And obviously, when you look at the Red Sox, they need a complete retooling here, and evidently they're going to go with him, and they had to make a decision, and they offered to keep Cherington on. And Cherington doesn't want to take orders from Dombrowski, so he quit. That's what it looks like to me. Anyway.
Yeah, right.
So it sounds like it's Cherington's problem.
And Dombrowski was on board with keeping him. You knew that Ben Cherington was going to get a new boss regardless. So he was going to have to adjust to a new boss anyways. Do you think that Ben Cherington thought of himself on the same level as John Henry, Tom Werner, and Larry Lucchino in terms of having to be in on decisions like this, especially choosing his own boss?
That could have been what it was. Maybe that was the problem. Maybe he felt slighted that he wasn't in on it.
But if he were in on it, he'd be selecting his own boss, and that's kind of a strange thing to think about.
He works for John Henry, and John Henry, I guess.
Ownership had to do the right thing.
It looks like Cherington doesn't want to take orders from Dombrowski, so he quit.
Right,
That's what it looks like to me. Right?
But he said he didn't feel like he was all in. Well, when your boss is being chosen by team ownership, you either go with it or you don't. Obviously, he didn't. But it's just strange to me that ownership wanted him to stay. Dombrowski said he wanted him to stay, and I have to take him at his word.
Yeah. If the owner of your company makes a huge decision and doesn't consult you, I mean, you may not like it, but they're the owners. You're not.
That's right. Exactly.
I don't think Cherington has a problem with it. I think Cherington, for some reason, has a problem with taking orders from Dombrowski, the new guy.
Right.
And he wants to go somewhere else. I think the press is the one that made a bigger deal out of it than it was.
Well, and the thing is, things are going to change, whether it's Dave Dombrowski or whoever. Things are going to change, and I think the strategy of the organization is going to change, because if it doesn't, they're destined to repeat what happened this year. They've got to change something.
Yeah, massively.
Yeah, and I was thinking about when Billy Beane first started with Oakland and Moneyball and all that, what we now know as Moneyball. His main thing was trading, or rather signing, college players instead of kids out of high school. So then everyone jumped on the bandwagon to draft college kids and not high school kids. And now it's going the other direction. Well, that's an example of a change in attitude, a change in strategy. And as a team, the Red Sox have to do that. They've been in last place too many years.
Yeah, exactly.
So don't you think, regardless of who his boss is going to be, it's going to change?
Oh, yeah. No doubt about it. I mean, this is a great change. This is... do you ever remember being excited over an executive signing?
Not really.
It's always a player. They sign a player. Oh, they sign a free agent. So-and-so's coming up. This guy got traded. This is the first time I ever remember a bunch of fans being excited because an executive came on board.
Yeah. Well, he's a winner with kind of, a little more resources than he's used to, a much better farm system, thanks to Ben Cherington, obviously.
Look, they have a great farm system. They have a lot of money. and this guy's got a great track record. Okay, so far that's a pretty good formula.
Right, right. And I think you can expect him to possibly trade some of the prospects to fill the holes that the team needs to be filled. And undoubtedly, you know, one or more of those prospects are going to turn out to be great players. But that's the kind of the risk, you know, seems to be willing to take based on his past.
Exactly. Yeah, and you know, you got to wonder. You know, why the Red Sox did not go after any top pitch. They didn't keep Lester. They probably could have. They didn't go after guys like Cole Hamels. They didn't go after the big guy. They went with the number 3 starters, banking on the fact that they got a good bullpen and they got going to score a lot of runs.
Right.
And it just backfired on them. And you got to wonder why Cherington didn't know enough to. I don't know. It's kind of like a Monday morning quarterback type thinking. But did he really do that great of a job since he's been there?
Well, everything went right in 2013. Had that not happened, what would we be saying?
Exactly.
You know, I mean, literally everything turned to gold in 2013.
Yeah.
Didn't matter who's playing. All the parts fit. Farrell did a great job. But then you have the other years, last place, including this one.
I mean, back in 2004, 2007, you had the quote-unquote Moneyball type guys, Bill Miller and those people like that, and you had the big free agents, about 3 of them, Pedro, Schilling, Manny, right?
Pedro was a trade.
Oh, Pedro was gone by then. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Pedro was a trade.
Yeah, Pedro was a trade.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right. So Schilling and Manning.
Right.
So you get a couple of big. They didn't do that. They didn't do that this year.
Right. Right.
They didn't have that number 1 starter. That maybe he just showed everybody he's not. I don't know. I don't see how he got treated. I don't see how Cherington got treated badly.
Right. Right. And he's got a bright future with someone else, I would have to think.
Yeah.
Whether or not he'll be a general manager, maybe not. But, you know, I think at some point, you know, he's definitely a good talent evaluator, and he definitely, you know, made some good moves, especially for 2013 as far as signings and trades. So, you know, I'm sure he has a bright future. But at this point, I think a seasoned veteran like Dombrowski heading up baseball ops is a great move.
You got to give him. You got to give Cherington 2013.
Yeah.
You got to give him kudos for that.
Everybody does. Everybody does.
You know, hey, it's every executive and every coach and every manager knows the day they get signed, they're going to get fired.
Yeah.
99 out of 100 of them, anyway.
Yeah. Well, I wrote that it'll be a very, very interesting offseason with Dave Dombrowski at the helm and whoever his general manager ends up being, and given the fact that they've got a good core of players and they are probably going to end up in last place, but that I would rather experience a, you know, rather calm off season after having won in the playoffs.
Yeah,
I'm on record as saying that. I'm sure you agree.
This is the beginning of 2016 right now.
Yeah.
You know, and
so I guess we'll see everyone at Christmas at Fenway, right?
Yep, and the down at the casino. Are they going to have that again?
I hope so. I'm hoping that that between Sam Kennedy and Tom Werner, who I assume is going to become CEO, that they continue that as a tradition. That was a great event. What's that?
Winterfest is what I meant.
Yeah. Red Sox Winter Weekend at Foxwoods. Yeah. So hopefully they'll have that again. I look forward to it.
So do I.
And I just want to say a quick best of luck to Larry Lucchino in his retirement and moving on to his next chapter. He did a fantastic job for the Red Sox and for all of Red Sox Nation, and we wish him the best.
Did a great job with the Red Sox.
He did. All right, Corn, any last words?
How many Red Sox executives won 3 World Series with the Red Sox?
That's right.
How many?
All right, Corn, any last words before we close up shop?
That's about it. Have a good day, everybody.
All right. Thanks, Corin. Thanks for joining me. Thanks, everyone. You've been watching live, maybe live on Ustream. Shows on YouTube, as well as you can find us on Twitter, Your Boston Sports, YOURBOSTN Sports, as well as Your Boston Sports on Facebook. So we look forward to you staying in touch. And again, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Have a good day.